The numbers are staggering, but would you believe that you could quite possibly have a leaky gut? Chances are you have a degree of it. About 80 to 90% of people have this condition, but how do you know and what can you do to treat it? Back with some holistic healing on this Wellness Wednesday is Dr. J.P. Saleeby, Medical Director of Carolina Holistic Medicine. Good to have you back.
Great to be here.
Leaky gut. Doesn't sound very appetizing.
No, it doesn't.
What is it?
That's the kind of layman's term, but in medicine we say intestinal permeability. So what it is where there's a disruption of the normal makeup of your intestines. Usually there's good bacteria, and then a layer of mucus, protective mucus, and then the villi where the nutrients are absorbed. So if any of those three things get disrupted, you have a leaky gut. So there are cells are one side thickness, and there's something in between called occlusion, which actually is kind of like the cement. It's like your brick and mortar, you know. And when that gets disrupted, there's something called zonulin, which can be measured. So zonulin can go up. It's a measure of how leaky your gut is.
Oh.
And then
is this like a kind of sepsis? Does it create a sepsis within your body?
No, it doesn't. Not in the traditional way of sepsis, but things can get through that shouldn't be.
Oh.
You know, the outside of us is from our mouth all the way through. That long tube is considered the outside, even though it's kind of internalized. But the inside is where our liver and our heart and our tissues reside. And you don't want certain things there. That's why our immune system protects us against viruses and bacteria and foreign bodies, and it will attack them. So if you have a leaky gut and things are leaking through, like big carbohydrate molecules or proteins or things like gluten or microbes like bacteria, then the body wants to attack it because it thinks it's the enemy.
What causes it?
So anything that disrupts the normal microbiome, like taking a lot of antibiotics or poor nutrition or diet, so lack of certain essential vitamins and minerals can cause a disruption. Certain medications can, and stress, that's a big one. People don't think about it, but emotional and physical stress can cause leaky gut.
So how do you treat leaky gut?
Well, there's several steps you have to take. You have to identify it first, so you can do stool analysis and blood work to identify it, or take a very good history, or do a scope. And then you have to repair it. There are the 5 R's of repairing a leaky gut, which means you have to take out anything that's offensive to the intestines, including stress. You have to do stress reduction. And then you want to replace the bacteria that's missing, and then use things like L-glutamine to help heal the gut, the intestines. And then you can repopulate with good microbes. And then you can use agents like low-dose naltrexone, which helps keep the immune system quiet and in order. Interesting.
So it is reparable.
Oh, you can repair it, yes.
You can. LDN, how does that come into play?
So LDN helps with, it's an anti-inflammatory. So inflammation with the leaky gut is, they go hand in hand. So it works on many mechanisms of action. It affects toll-like receptors. It reduces inflammation. So it actually can heal the gut. And as it's healing the gut, the medicine itself becomes better absorbed. So one hand washes the other.
Even coffee can cause a leaky gut. I had no idea. I live on it.
Well, you can still live on it, but you have to get the right kind of coffee. So you want to get the mold-free coffee, because mold is something that really causes a lot of leaky gut, and a lot of coffee has mold in it.
Oh.
So there are some websites that sell, and some organizations that sell guaranteed 100% mold-free coffee.
I am going to look into this. Thank you so much for that information.
Sure.
I appreciate that, Dr. Saleeby.
Okay.
We're back in 2 minutes. Mold in your coffee?